Greetings, Minecrafters! Nonsanity here, and welcome to another episode of All the Mods 9 to the Skies. Alright, we've got a lot of project chests to go through here. So let's get started with... where'd all my stuff go? I tore it down. We no longer need the sifting systems, I don't think. If I need to, I can build them again, but I think we're done with those. The farm has been going gangbusters. We'll see that in a little bit. But first, I made another enchanting device, this time from Mystical Agriculture. It has a couple input slots, and we need, for what we're doing, a book. Well, book doesn't go there. Supremium Essence, 3 of them. 1 stack of Experience Essence from the Experience Seeds, and a book. And you get Mystical Enlightenment, 1. But this can do more than just 1. We can go up to 5 by having 5 times of the ingredients. So 5 times the Supremium, and you can put multiple stacks of that in there. And I'm short 1 because I was going to grab it from the project chest I had over there. And then you put in a book, and with 5 times as much you get Mystical Enlightenment 5. That is a good one to get. You can combine them in an anvil. It doesn't show it here, but Mystical Enlightenment goes up to 9. So get 2 5s, combine them in an anvil to get a 6. Get 2 more 5s, combine them in an anvil to get 6. Combine that with the other 6 to get 7. And just keep doing that, and you can get up to 9. This is needed after killing a wither or an ender dragon to get cognizant dust. That's the orange stuff I was talking about before. And I have gone and I have... It can only be placed, get the uses here, on one of the mod's own swords or scythes of any tier, but I went with the Supremium. I haven't made the Awakened yet, but this is how you get to the Awakened level. For Awakened, you need Awakened Supremium. And you make that with a block of Supremium Essence and 4 Cognizant Dust. That gets you a block of Awakened Supremium. And the only way to get this dust is to kill a wither with this enchantment. So let's run over here and do that once. I modified my box a little bit just to save time by having the head height on this side too. Small change. The wall blocks anything you might shoot out of there, but he can't shoot me. Still. Let's take him out with just 8 swings, and there we go. We got 12 Cognizant Dust with a level 9 spell. And at some point you won't need to make any more of that, because you can do, I think, a B to get you the Awakened Draconium. Or Awakened Supremium. Awakened Draconium is something different. To get this, yeah, there is a B. The Awakened Supremium B. And you make its egg. You need 4 blocks of Awakened Supremium. So you need to have 16 of this Cognizant Dust to make the egg. But you also have to have the Supremium B, which is that, which is the previous, which is the previous, which is the previous. And then Prosperity B, which is, let's see, Prosperity B is, I think, taking a crystalline B, yeah, and giving it a prosperity block. Just whacking it with a prosperity block, or feed it, if you want to call it that, and it turns it into a prosperity bee. But then you got to have a bunch of those, like a 6 or so, at least. and then melt those down for their genes to make one spawn egg of it, and then you have to crank it back up. So it's a little bit of a project, but now I've got the material to do it. All right, now we're talking about mystical agriculture. I did make one change to my automation here when I started doing all of the seeds. There's no need to do this super automated. Most things, it's not necessary to do them super automated, especially this, since you're only going to make maybe 4 of each seed. That'll change with some of the stuff for the ATM star. I think its recipe does require a few seeds. Which one was that? This one. And I'm going to make 20 stars. So I'll need 20 dragon seed eggs, 20 nitro crystals. But once you can make them, I mean, like the nether star, they're really easy. And with this automation, it's even easier. When I was doing all my seeds, go to mystical seed. I also did, if you do the @ sign, then the letters in that word will be looking for in the mod name. No symbol in front is just a regular looking for in the name, but you can also use the pound or hashtag or number sign and another word. In this case, I'm going to do a number. And that looks in the tooltip of the item. So here it's tier 3 is in the tooltip. It's not part of the name, not part of the mod. It's just in the tooltip. And this limits me to only the tier 3 seeds, which means they all have the same essence. So these are all tertium essence. So I went through here and I gathered up the materials for all of these that I could, like getting 4 1x compressed blocks of redstone alloy. And they all took the tertium essence. So I could put all the tertium essence in this chest, which is connected to 1, 2, 3, 4 of the pillars. And then I put just all the other materials into this chest, which is connected to the other 4 pillars. And it just made all the seeds and stuck them in here. That part didn't change from what we did last time. So how are the farms doing? Well, look at the materials here. About 500,000 of most things. Some of the things I added later on have a little less. With iron, we've crossed the 1 million iron mark. That's pretty good. A few more down here that were added later. So like the Enderium, I only have got 250,000. Tungsten was one of the last ones I added. I only got 20,000. To make I don't know if I need tungsten, but I made the seed for it. I cleared it out. To get the tungsten, I needed to use our old friend alchemistry, the same sort of setup. To get tungsten, I melted down netherite ingots, which gave a lot of tungsten, and gold and carbon. All right, so let's start flying here and then go in through one of the tops of the farm. Let's go into the first farm, which you've seen. There it is, and it is growing crazy. The lower level is still all inferium. How much insanium do I have now? I have 5,247 blocks of insanium and another 414 just loose. I don't think I need any more. And then 4 of each of these other seeds up here. So I'm limiting myself to 4 of each seed type. And I'm still getting 1 million over the last couple days. I've taken 2 of the crafters out of here because the lower level, not having a wide variety of seeds, didn't have as many that it needed to be done. This one here at the end is a little bit more complicated because this one is doing the nitro. I think they're over here. Yes. I've got one of the nitro seeds with its required crux block underneath it. And I've got 4 crux blocks for nether stars. So we've got the nitro and 4 nether star seeds. And that comes up so that, and they all come into this crafter. The nether star essence gets crafted into a, there we go. Takes 9, you get the shard, and then you take 3 of the shards and you get a star. And it puts the stars over here. And that's interesting. Before it was getting excess stars. Now it seems to be having excess nitro. I bet you my input chest has a lot of nitro that I'm going to have to take care of. We'll take a look here in a moment. But they should be coming out about equal. Let's see. Yeah, it's got 6,000 extra nitro. All right, I will have to... I can add another... I got 2 more slots here. I can add another nether star seed. I'm trying to get them at least roughly balanced. This crate can hold a lot in one stack. So where I shifted the order. Where did it go? It was in here a moment ago. Yeah, let's sort by quantity. Then it'll be at the top. There it is. It looks like I can hold 16,000 in a stack. So it's about halfway there. But then it's got plenty of room. So it'll be a while before it's a problem. But the idea is that it makes the star into itself, and then it mixes it with the nitro and sends out the resulting. And if there were extra stars, because it was making more of those, when it makes the star, it goes out. Let's see, I think, yeah, it's an external recipe. So this recipe, it makes the star, it puts it in the output slots, so it gets piped out the top. But I've got a card in here that's nearest first, and the nearest input is itself. So it would put the stars back into itself. But if all these had a 64 in them, then the excess stars would go into the system. And that was working pretty good. I don't know why now the stars are less frequent. I didn't clear it out of here, did I? No. I have the actual nether star in there. But the nether star essence is in there too. Oh, that's because I had some manual stars I put in there. When I'm adding a new seed, I'll plant it, and then I'll look up here. And because this input chest, it's flying, it only goes to my danks. And the danks have the boats in them, so blocking all the unused slots. So if there isn't a slot for it, it will sit here in this chest, and it'll be very obvious because it's not flickering. I can grab some of that essence, and then I open this one up, and I shift-click it to put it into here. And this is a blacklist, so it won't take it out of this chest, which is where everything is coming into. Then I can take the rest of it out of here, and I won't see any more show up here, but it'll start building up in this chest. Then I open up this, and I shift right-click it into this one, which is whitelisted. So they have all the same essences in here that are in here. But here, they're blacklisted. So don't send them out here. Do send them out here. And then I go to one of the, which they're all full. No, this one still has some room. Yeah, it's got several recipes. So I would add a new element here, add a new recipe, set it to external. It would start sending it out. Though do always remember, if you're setting this exactly up, always hit the R button after placing a new essence in here. Otherwise, if it runs out and a different essence goes in there, it'll stop processing the essence that should be there. And it'll build up in the chest. I had that happen once because I forgot to hit the R. And we'll just quickly take a look at the other one. Oh, I saw myself falling. I knew that was going to be a problem. So I'm going to have to fix it now. The nice thing is, while the seed that I broke got picked up, it'll sit here in the chest. So you can see how that is very easy to spot. I also need some red fertilizer. And plant that back. So yeah, I'm just putting down 4 of each seed, and I still have some more room, and I have a few more seeds that I will need to add. I'm not adding, let's get out of there because it's a bit noisy. I'm not going to add every single seed. I went through and I decided a few of them. There's a couple seeds that don't have a recipe, you can't even make them. And a couple seeds like limestone that I don't need limestone. If I do, I'll make it, but there's no recipes that use it. I don't plan to use it for building, so I can skip that one. And now I'm just down to the few that I don't have the materials yet to make the seed. Awakened Draconium, Gaia Spirit, Dragon Egg, Terra Steel, Elementium Mana Steel from Botania. Fish seeds, I do want to get those. Squid seeds, I need to get those. And cow seeds, those would be useful. Honey seeds, definitely good if we're going to do bees. And then, of course, vibranium, unobtainium, and allthemodium. All right, what is next? Oh, yes. When we were doing the wither last time, I used the Hostile Neural Networks widget. I tagged 4 cards to the wither and then killed it. And I said I was going to kill it a few more times so that they're ready. Well, they're ready. So let's set something up to use them. I also went and I got 4 wither skeleton models. That was pretty easy. Just went to the nether and started whacking them. And actually got it almost up to the top tier. It was advanced, just for me flying around and killing them all. All right, so first I want to get some power down, and I'm going to sort of bury it down here. I guess I'll put this down at this end. I can put away that. And because I want to have, these are going to have sort of a high power draw, let's go ahead and give it an upgrade. So without the upgrade, the pipe, according to the tooltip, only transfers 512 FE. But with this high-end ultimate pipe upgrade, it now transfers 262,000 FE every tick, which would be more than enough. And I'm going to put down 8 simulation chambers, and I'm going to have 4 of them be wither. I mean, this may be overkill. It's really just for speed. I missed one. There we go. Yeah, and I can change these out. I mean, you can swap out the model. Okay, the models are there. I can swap them out for other models later if I want to, but these are going to be the ones I need first. Actually, I probably won't need the wither model too much for what the wither drops are, but it'll be useful to have the failed prediction product, which we'll see that in a moment here. And I'm just going to use 2 of the loot fabricator. So what happens is you give these things their input item, which I can grab some by hand here. Neural, this stuff, the prediction matrix. Glass panes, iron, gold, and clay, and you get 16 for it. So you get a lot for the recipe. I'm going to toss them in here. So you got your model in there, which is at least basic, and some prediction matrix and some power. But it's not getting power. Did I forget to... Yep, I did forget to set this. There we go. Should be getting power. Yep. And now it's running. When it gets to 100%, either we'll succeed and something will appear in this slot, or we'll fail and something will appear in this slot. It was a fail. So there's generalized ender prediction. 3 levels. Ender is the, I guess, top tier. Then there's Nether prediction, which these guys will do. Let's go ahead and give the Wither guy here some predictions so it can run. Here we got 2 of the Wither predictions. So these are generalized. They're just, this is an end mob, so it gives you these when it fails. Might even give them when you succeed too. But these will give you the actual drops of that mob in the loot fabricator. So I toss these in here. And for the Wither, the only drop you can get is a Nether star. Once you select it, and you have to give this power. So I'm going to run, no, I'm not going to run power up. I'm just going to give it its own power like this. Did I forget to set the, yeah, I did this, forgot to set this as well. There we go. So there, so it's turning these 2 into Nether stars. Sort of useful. And we can pipe out those predictions. And there, yep, there they go. And this one should be, it's asking which of these Wither skeleton drops we want. Skulls would be the obvious one. I don't need them anymore, so I'm just going to set it to coal. I will need a lot of coal at some point. I probably have enough, but hey, got to have something with that. And then I'm going to have some drawers here, like there and there, and these will be for the generalized outputs. There we go, and those should be, yep, being piped out into there. And then because the outputs are just going to be sitting in here, I'm going to pull out from all of them into an ender chest. And these are locked. They were pre-locked. So they will stay with the type. There, it's emptied out, but the type will stay. That just sort of acts as a filter. Even though we're not going to keep any here in the drawer, I want the, originally this is the way I had it, and we were building up in the drawer, but I decided I wanted to store it in my danks. So I just piped it out to the top. But I'll keep them there because it sort of acts as a filter. We could arrange this so that we don't need that, but this is a little bit less complicated to set up. Because otherwise we'd have to go down here and put a ultimate pipe up, or any of the upgrades in a diamond or this one in there. And then, I mean, just to show this, because it's not used too often, I will be using it a little bit here and there. If you get this filter destination tool and crouch, like right-click a destination, so I just said that chest up there, which is not connected to this pipe, so I wonder what it's going to do. And then say, if you get a crafter, I want it to go to that destination. So now it says, and I happen to click on the north face of the chest. So that's what it's saying. Go to that chest on the north face. As long as the pipe connects to that block, it'll try and put it in the north face of it. So I could do that with these and say, and just replace this with another piece of pipe and go to each of these and say that the generalized prediction goes straight to the ender chest, but the wither predictions go to the loop fabricator. And then that should work. But I have to set up for each one, and then if I change the mobs, I'll have to change the set. This is easier. I'm all for easy. Speaking of easy, I don't want to have to fill these things up with the prediction matrix manually. So let's automate that as well. So we need some way to get them in, and I'll be using that. Let's see, I want a cobble gen. Pop that there. And an energy condenser on top. And I do not want it to connect to that. So that's getting cobble. I want it to convert it to glass, because glass has EMC. And while we already have a lot of it in our system, and that is the wrong glass, keep doing that. There we go. I have 269,000 glass in my system. I could just pipe it from there, but because it can be generated, it's just one less thing I have to worry about for some reason. It'll never use that much. But it's ingrained in me that when I can have an automation be separate from everything else, I try to do that. And in this case, the glass is separate. But this pipe coming up here, let's go. It does come over. Let's disconnect that. Shouldn't be a problem, but it's coming up and connecting to the bottom of this tank, which has my iron and my gold in it. Oh, it also has clay balls. Only 3,000. Because those don't have EMC. The clay blocks do. So at some point I must have made clay blocks into clay balls. I may have to fix that so it'll last. But I want those to come up and go into a crafter, which I've already set up here with a few recipes. So glass comes in, and I've got it remembered. And the glass is used to make glass panes as an internal recipe. So they go right here. Meanwhile, the clay balls, the iron ingot, the gold ingot, oh, and also water essence and dirt essence, which are also in this tank. Aren't they? Yes, dirt and water. Thankfully, all the things I needed were in this one tank. I would have moved them around. Otherwise, I'd have to add another pipe here with another filter, because this is only filtering those things: iron, gold, dirt, water. So those come over and fill in the first 4 slots here. The clay balls are being... Oh, that's right. Yes, I already did take care of this. I'm not using the clay from the system. I'm using the dirt and the water essence, which are renewable from the farm. I'm making the clay balls here as an internal recipe. That's why they're here. Gotcha. There's a method to my madness. And then finally, the prediction matrix is made from the resulting final pieces and loaded up here. All I have to do is export it out and give it a whack. And then I need to pipe in the glass. Should do like that. I could put a filter in there, but as long as I don't have any empty slots, it won't try and pipe cobblestone in here. And the first slot is glass, so that's what it's going to try and pull out first anyway. So yeah, this is going to completely fill up with glass and then just sit there. But it'll keep that slot full. All right, now they should all have prediction matrix. They are all running, and yeah, the system is complete. I may want to add a speed upgrade to that one so the coal doesn't build up if it comes in quickly. And we should have plenty of nether stars. And I had this running for a day or two, I think. And I've got 35,000 nether stars. I probably don't need to run this much more. How much of the generalized predictions do I have? 23,000 of the nether prediction and 24,000 of the end prediction. I don't have the lowest tier one. Like I said, there's 3. You can, I think, downgrade. Yeah. No, you can only upgrade. Okay. So I don't have any of the overworld prediction. I may swap out the nether for these, just in case. Yeah, there's a few recipes that use the generalized prediction to do handy little recipes. Oh, that's interesting. You can make 8 iron from 4 of those and a rotten flesh. And you can make a rotten flesh from a raw pork chop. Well, rotten flesh is EMC. Yeah, and it's 16. Oh, wait, no, that's pretty good. So if you use EMC to make a pork chop at 64, combine it with this, and you get rotten flesh, which only has half as much EMC, but you get 16 of them, so that's an 8 times increase. That's pretty good. And then combining this with the iron, or with more generalized prediction to make iron, it's another source of iron. I got plenty. Got over 1 million. Don't really need it. Good to know. But you can go upwards from each of the tiers. So the first tier, the overworld, can be turned into the nether, 4-to-1 around netherrack, and then this one can be around endstone, 4-to-1 to make the ender. I can make cobwebs this way. Yeah, so these are useful to have. So I'm running it with that in mind. Oh, and I do need this. Did I give it power? No, okay, it doesn't have room for power there. So we'll just give it a power nodule on the top. There we go. Now it's complete. And project chest, done. Next project chest. Let's do this one. Got a little layout here. This one's going to be silly large, because why not? All right, we're going to put down some item conduit here. I've got a drawer full of acacia. And if you know anything, that's a good sign of what we're doing. Because acacia is the log type that has the most latex in it. So when used with a fluid extractor, it produces 4 millibuckets of latex, whereas most other wood types, like spruce, is only 2, birch is 2, oak is 2, dark oak is 3, jungle is 2, and then I guess strip logs are 1. But acacia is 4. So it's interesting. It looks like it runs now. This is a change from the last time I used it. It will run with a regular log getting 4 or whatever, but then eventually it'll turn it into a stripped log. And all the stripped logs, it seems, only produce 1. And then when that's gone, our system will place another one down. And we'll be placing them with modular routers. So it'll be the first time I use them in this pack. Each one of these has a placer module set with its direction to up. And you can set that by right-clicking it in the air and clicking there. That would be down. This is up. Everything else kept just the same. Pop it in here. Once I wrench this so that it's extracting, they will all, I should also both speed it up and make it round robin, so that way it fills them all in at once. That's interesting. You can see that I had this running here. They've, even though the block was gone, the damage at that location was remembered by the game. I imagine if I break these, they'll be... No, it's interesting. They still keep the damage, even the one I broke. It may just be a visual thing. All right. And now, fluid extractors. I'm going to put 16 of them down, because why not? And they can all run without power. Every time this bar gets to the bottom, they will produce a little bit, the 4 in this case, of latex. But we can speed that up by giving them some power. So let's do that. I guess I did do that. And export. And I probably should whack it. I'm not sure how much power they take, but we got power. So now it doesn't go all the way back up to the top when it resets, so it's much faster. There are ways to speed it up, but we can't make those yet because we need the latex. So let's get the latex out of these machines. And we'll put them in a tank. Use one of these jumbo tanks and pipe out of each machine. There we go, and we're getting latex. I already have 6 buckets. Quite often I would build this by having 4 of these fluid extractors around 1 log. But I decided, hey, let's make a big one and make it go fast. I had this running, I guess, overnight, and I've got 3.5 of these jumbo tanks, which hold 1,000 buckets. So I got over 3,000 buckets of latex now. It works pretty well. Another project chest complete. I still have some extra bits. Okay, that's because I had the extra tanks originally. And yeah, don't need that. I had 3 tanks sitting here being fed out of this one. So that one had a speed upgrade in the extra pipes. Because I know I was going to be running it overnight. Now when that fills, that's fine. I'll tear this down. It'll be a temporary thing. I don't need an infinite supply of latex. I'm not even going to use it to make plastic. That's one of the things you do with latex. You run it through a... where is it? Make the dry rubber machine outputs. Oh, that's interesting. Normally it's the machine itself up here, but here's where it says the machine. Anyway, yeah, latex processing unit. You feed it latex, and it generates dry rubber. It's interesting, it just doesn't show the input here. It's a little bit of a failing in their documentation in-game. But dry rubber can be made from rubber essence, and the rubber seeds can take any of the 3 types of rubbers in the pack: thermal, productive trees, or industrial foregoing. And the thermal you get by cooking up regular rubber, and you get the regular rubber with vines around a bucket of water. And I can make vines from nature essence. So I made a bunch of those and made 4 rubber seeds, and those have been producing plastic for me in the farms. So as you know, I must have a lot of plastic. Oh, I only have 832. Oh, that's right, because I'm not cooking it automatically. It generates the dry rubber, of which I've got 2 million. I need to actually manually cook that. If I need to, I can automate it, but a couple batches manually dropped into the netherite furnace, and that's probably all the plastic I'll need. It's only used to make the machines, and I don't need large quantities of the machines generally. But as this is now the 40-minute mark, and that's only half of what I recorded, I think we should stop it here and continue the rest in the next episode. So, this is Nonsanity signing out. Take care, be good, and see you next time.